Hello guys, welcome to CS Tech Solution. Today's is learn is a data analytics. Today's is learn as a part 10 is a data explorations basics. Data explorations is a process of as understanding the data before the analyzing it. And it help to identify the patterns and errors, trends and the relationship. Data explorations means as imaging data to the understand and what it the contains as before the making as a decisions. And the first is the introduction to a data exploration. Data exploration is first steps in a data analysis and where we as examines and as understand the data. And why is the data explorations important as understand the data set as find the missing values, identify the errors, detect the outliers and find the patterns and the trends as prepares data for as analysis. And the real life examples schools is when to the analyze the students marks as before the creating as a report, and it has checked as are all the marks as entered and any as a duplicate students, and any marks is greater than the 100, and this the process is called as a data exploration. Second is understanding a data set. What is a data set? A data set is a collection of as a related data as organized in the rows and the columns. And the data set is a tables as containing the information, and the examples as a row means a record and the columns means as a field. And student tables has to gives like student IDs, names, age and the marks has to gives. And as before the analysis as and check as numbers of rows, numbers of columns as data types and the missing the values and the duplicate records. And third is a descriptive statistics. As a descriptive statistics is summarize and as a describe the data as using the numbers, and the descriptive statistics is help to understand the data as quickly. And the common measure as a mean, median, mode, as a range, variance and as a standard deviations. And as examples of the data set as a marks has to give, so like 4 marks is gives. And using the descriptive statistics we can as a calculate as a average marks, highest marks, lowest marks and the spread of the marks. And fourth is a mean means average, and means is average of all the values, and add all the values and as a divide by as a total numbers of values. And the formulas means equals as a sum of all the values and the divide, so the as a as a divisions has to use, and after the numbers of values has to give. Like the example says marks, 5 marks has to give, so as a first step as a totals to find of all the marks, and as step 2 is a mean means as a total marks as a divide by as a total numbers of values, so as a 400 is a sum of all the values and the divide as a 5 means as a total numbers of values, so equal as a 80. 80 is a mean as a average values is 80. And fifth is a median. The median is a middle values after the arranging the data in the order, and the median is middles numbers. Like the example as a 5 marks has to write, and the median as a middle values equal as a 80, so this values is the median. And even numbers has to gives like 4 numbers, 6 numbers, so this example as gives 4 marks, so the middle's values has to find, right? Middle values is 70 and the 80. So as median equal the counts inside the 70 plus 80 and divide by 2 equal as 75. This is so as a median's value in even numbers. And 6 is a mode. Mode is a values that appears most frequently, and mode is most as repeated values. And this the example as a marks, and the 3 times as gives in the 80 marks. So as a 80 has appeared the 3 times, so the mode equal as a 80. And seventh is a range. Range is a difference between the highest and the lowest values, and the range is tells how the spread out the data is. In the formulas, as the range equal the maximum values minus as the minimum values. And the example as a 5 marks has to gives, highest is 100 and as a lowest is 60. So the range equal as a 100 minus as a 60 equal as a 40. 40 is the range of the lowest to the highest values between the range. 8 is a variance. A variance is measured as how the fast the values are as a spread from the mean as is called as the average. And the variance is tells us how much the data varies. And the example as a marks has to gives like 80, 81 as a 79 and 80. This values is very close together, so the variance equal as a low. And the marks is gives as a 20, as a 50, 80 and the 100. The values are as spread out, so the variance is high. Means as so all the values as gives as very close together, the variance is low, otherwise the variance is high. And ninth is a standard deviation. Standard deviations is measured as a how much the values is differ from as a average. And the standard deviation is tell us as a close or the first the data is as a forms in the means. And the example as a low standard deviations as the marks as to gives like a 78, 79, 80, 81 and the 82. And all the marks are the close to the average, and the average marks is 80, and all the marks has to close together in the 80, so the standard deviation equal as a low. Otherwise as the high standard deviation, the marks is gives like a 20, 50, 80 and 100 and the 120. So the marks are the widely as a spread in the as a average mark is 80 and widely spreads to the others marks, so the standard deviations equal as a high. And 10th is identifying the outliers. As outliers is values that is very different from the others values, and outliers is unusual or as extend the values. In the examples, marks has to gives like 80, 82, 81, 79 and 250. So the 250 is a much higher than the others marks. So the 250 is outer layers, as a layers. And why the find is outer layers is detect the data entries mistakes and find the usual as a unusual events and improve the data's quantities. 11th is a data's distribution. A data's distribution is so how the values are as a spread across the data set, and the distribution is so the whether the data is as evenly as a spread or as a concatenate. And example one is even distribution like 10, 20, 30, 40 and the 50, and this the values is increase as evenly, like a tenth difference in the two values. And the example 2 as uneven distributions, like 3 times as 10 values has to give, and after the 90 and the 100 has to give, and most values are the lows, and but fews are much as a highest. And the types of the distributions as a symmetrically distributions, the both the side are as a similar. And the right square distributions as more values are as on the lower side, and with long tails to as a right. And left square distributions as most values are on the higher side, and with long tails to as the left. Thank you guys to watch the videos. Please subscribe the channel, on the notification and bell icon.